My name is Amir. I am from Petronas downstream business, and my role is to establish the downstream digital roadmap as well as help to improve the plant performance. Our paper today is on APM harmonization and unification. What's the triggering factor? And this is my presentation outline. I'll give a little bit introduction or background of Petronas. What are the triggering factors of APM harmonization and unification? How was the assessment done for the APM harmonization and unification? What is the impact to TCO? And last but not least, what are our decision and expectation of APM migration, APM harmonization and unification? Petronas is a dynamic global energy group which exists in more than 100 countries. Our portfolio are diverse in multiple sectors. We involve in upstream exploration and production, gas, downstream, chemical, retail, and renewable energy. If you want to know more regarding Petronas, you can go straight to our website, or probably you can scan the QR code. This is our headquarters, Petronas headquarters at Kuala Lumpur. This is Petronas Twin Tower. We are also sponsor to the AMG Petronas Formula 1 team. Our good times was during 2014 until 2021, when we've become 8 times Constructors Championship. And we have won 7 out of 8 Drivers Championship. My presentation objective is I want to share Petronas aspiration on our enterprise strategy in doing harmonization and unification of APM. And apart from that, we want to share the outcome of our assessment, our path forward, as well as our expectation for Petronas downstream today. APM harmonization and unification is our aspiration to steward APM standardization across Petronas business units. As for the background, in Petronas, we have 3 businesses or units are using APM, but the version is different and the platform is also different. PCG and PRPC is actually downstream. We are using version 4.3 and 4.4, and upstream is using version 4.6. And in terms of platform, each of the business unit are in different platform. So that's why we want to do harmonization. And due to this different version and platform, we are having enterprise challenges in terms of total cost of ownership, decentralized in terms of system architecture, which is we are having difficulty in terms of consolidating of any analysis of reporting. And last but not least, we are having inconsistent vendor deployment strategy or approach. These are the case for our change. The first one is ERP modernization. This is in our term is ERP harmonization, but it is actually ERP migration. We are using SAP ECC6 at the moment, and we are moving to SAP S/4HANA. The project start this year, and our estimation it is going to end in 2027. Due to this, we think of we need to do this activity prior to the migration. If not, if SAP migration comes first, then it will impact APM in our organization. Second one is on end of support for the current version 4.3 and 4.4. 4.3 is actually already obsolete since 2023, and version 4.4 will obsolete soon in 2025. Okay. And second one, due to compliance to cybersecurity requirement. So cybersecurity has mentioned to us that in order for us to maintain the previous version 4.3 and 4.4, we need to do security patches because the requirement is the latest version to a version lower than the current version only we can maintain. We cannot maintain more back version than 2 level version. Third one is we are having issue in terms of system performance as well as functionality with the current version 4.3, 4.4 that limit us from effectively doing our adoption. For this, we have conducted 2 surveys last year, 2023. The first survey as our baseline we have conducted, and the score is negative 48. Imagine negative 48 is actually the lowest application score in Petronas. So due to this, we have also conducted kind of a task force for us to improve in terms of system performance. We work together with GE on how we can improve the version 4.3 and 4.4. So after we have done that task force and activity in improving the performance of version 4.3, we did another NPS and we see a slight improvement of 19%. So the score is negative 39. Okay, but it is still not good because we need to still improve in terms of system performance and functionality. If you see at the pie chart, the biggest chunk is actually 24% is on system performance based on the user's feedback. And last but not least, our case for change is due to JV company carve out. This happened at PRPC, whereby we have a JV with another company. That company want to carve out, and the company purchases APM licenses that leave 3 subsidiaries of Petronas without any APM license. Another case for change. Okay. Our aspiration and our in mind is we want to standardize APM version and hosting. There are 2 items. The first one is for enterprise benefit and standardization by establishing APM Center of Excellence. This is at Petronas ourselves, and this is led by our group technical solutions. Okay. Second one, we want to centralize the system architecture. Third, we want to optimize our total cost of ownership. And last but not least, we want to enhance our system performance and support. This is our target in terms of enterprise benefits and standardization. And second one, we want to conformance to technical requirement in terms of compatibility with S/4HANA, as well as cybersecurity compliance. Touching on how we do the situational assessment, we identify a few key elements such as operation and performance, integration, and cybersecurity, and so on. And apart from these key elements, we also identify 24 key criteria for us to do this assessment. So in terms of version, we did a comparison with 4 APM versions, current version 4.3 and 4.4, as well as version 4.6 and the latest version 5. So based on the comparison, these are the percentage, and this is basically the result of our assessment. And in terms of hosting, we do a comparison, 2 comparison only, whereby Petronas Cloud is actually, we consider as on-prem solution, although it is Petronas Cloud, as compared to GE Cloud. So between these 2, GE Cloud score the highest, which is 88%. Okay. In summary, the first one is version summary. Version 5 is compatible with S/4HANA, and it is compliant to cybersecurity and available in GE Cloud hosting. And version 5 has improved system performance and better user interface and enhanced visualization. In terms of hosting, GE Cloud offers seamless update, for example, system patches, new features deployment and updates. And GE Cloud also offers additional features such as WalkMe, record, replay function, and smart signal functionality. Okay. So we did our assessment together with multiple parties, as you can see at the bottom. So that it is not only downstream which is involving during that assessment, but also the entire Petronas.
Hi, hola, konnichiwa, 안녕하세요. Right, welcome, good afternoon. I think thank you everyone for being here to listen to our presentations. Just a little bit background about this. What we are doing is actually a strategic approach in order for us to move for the GE Cloud, migrate to the latest versions. So actually what we did here, it's more towards to cover all angles, so that there is no room of rejection from our management. So it's not only on the technical perspective that we look at, but it's also on the other angles, such as we have to do the demo sessions to show to our management that the issues previously has been resolved accordingly. Okay. On top of that, we're also looking into other users' perspective, where we get the users from outside Malaysia that has using cloud. I believe in Malaysia, the Asia at that particular of time, there is no one using the cloud at the moment. But when we trying to get, I think it's very difficult around the apex. So we get Rahul to help us to find one users that it's really can help us in terms of giving feedbacks on what they experience having the clouds in their operationalizations. So there are two things here. So let me go one by one. Right, so the first one is actually we're looking into the unresolved issues. We have 28 unresolved issues not really able to resolve during the current versions. So what we need to do is actually to get GE product team to demo to us this 28 item, whether it can really be resolved inside the version 5 and also in the cloud. So we call our team member, especially on the technical group digital, to oversee and witness these unresolved issues. Is it really been resolved in the versions 5? And then on top of that, we also get the SMEs to verify, is this really what you want? Is this really what are the things that you want to make it resolved for the future operationalizations later, right? We have 4 sessions with the product teams. I believe we started end of May and then we finish up around early of June. So what we see from that, the 28 issues were resolved with version 4.5 and above, where at that particular of time, they have showing us, demo us using the version 5. And the GE Cloud subscriptions provide the seamless version update. That is the thing that we see around when there is a demo back in Barcelona. Now we have also demo specifically for Petronas at a particular time when we do the assessment. Right. Number 2, the second approach that I said just now, we are looking for other users to give us a better comfort that cloud hosting is actually the best for us to move forward. So thank you to Rahul. I see Rahul at the back. Thank you, Rahul, for helping us on this, because getting AES, I think it's not really an easy job. Again, it has to take networking. So a good session that we have with Shirley is actually we go through all the items that we would like to see. On number 1, how the APM journey on the migrations, upgrading and the versions, and then how is the utilizations that been done ataupun been adoption in AES, and then we have to looking into the APM integration with other solutions, not only the ACP, we have PI, we have third-party solution as well, And then how about the system performance when they're using things, APM inside the GE cloud? And we have also want to know about how GE support, giving a continuous support to the team in order for them to move forward. And last one, what are the best practices that we can adopt in Petronas so that it can be operationalized better, right? So what you can see here, I think that we just put some key highlights from the customers. So they subscribe the GE Cloud since version 4.3 and they really face an issues on that. So when we see that, okay, fine, we see 4.3 until now, I believe they have gone to 5.1. We have the 5.1.1 and 5.1.2, right? Yes. So it's really a faster update from GE. So we think that we cannot cope to patches and to migrate every 2 or 3 yearly, right? So it's very lengthy process that we are facing right now. So we implementing the migration right now. So it's very lengthy process and it takes a lot of efforts. So to me, as a technical specialist for reliability, I have other things that I have to looking. I believe APM as an enabler should help us to provide more insights later instead of we are focusing on doing the migrations, right? So that is another reasons why we have to move and to make sure things are ready for us to implement our use cases, our operationalizations better, and so on. Right, I think next comes to the costing. When we're talking about the costing, so we are looking into the totality. So we are not looking into the only investment that we made for the acquisitions. So we have to see in terms of the internal cost that we have to spend and also the external cost that we have to spend. So for this assessment, I think we go for the smart move where we didn't promising any return of investment to our management. So what we did is only to say to our management is if we maintain as is and we go for the 2B, which is a cloud, what are the tangible value that you can see? So in Petronas, we measure 2 things. One is intangible value, then we have tangible value. So if you're talking about intangible value, it's always not inside our production and loss balance sheet. So you won't see at the end of the year, this is the cost savings that you would see for the Petronas. So what we did, we go for the tangible value, which is more promising. So that is where the contract negotiation coming in, the sunset of a certain infrastructure coming in, so that we can get a better total cost of ownership in 5 years. So it's a 30% cost saving that we achieve for this contract negotiation. Thank you, Akram. That I have to say, you have a hard time with me, I know. Thank you very much that's supporting us. But the 30% cost saving is not only coming from the external factors, it's also coming from the internal factors. So to me, for us to move forward, right, we have to sometime to lose some and to then later you will win some, right? So I think that's really alive. So when we show this to our management, they are okay with that. And then it seems like really promising that we can move to the cloud and this project can be fly. Okay? So these are the key elements that we considering during our cost benefit analysis. So this is very important, right? So when we show to them the cost savings that we get, okay, so let's move to the GE cloud. And then on top of that, your technical assessment also supporting your strategy to go to the cloud. So it's actually a holistic view that give you a better perspective to the management so that we can move forward, okay? All right, what is the Petronas decision and expectation on this? We have to answer back what are the pain points that we are actually experience in the first lah. Yes, right. So it must be conformance to technical requirement. We did the technical assessment that is really given. You have to do anyway. I think everyone is doing that to see whether it is good for us. Is it compatible or not? So that you be able to justify at the angle of the technical. Then, in terms of the system performance and architecture, as long as it resolves the performance issue, no more donut loading to us, no more white screen. So I think that is really good for us to move forward. Okay, I think the third one is more towards the total cost of ownership. So the enterprise commercial model is actually very good for us, especially for downstream, because of they're using for the 8 PCGs, and we have another 3 PRPCs operating units coming into the same tenant and the same cloud. So it is really good to have the negotiation with Akram. Thank you, Akram. Right? And then we get a better price. Yeah, the better price means that we can move forward and then we can give you a 5 years commitment that we are going to use this. Right? Okay. And the last one, centralized vendor management. I think when we establish GTS APM COE, it's all about we want to manage the thing across the Petronas. So this is very important because of the standardization have to come. So you like it or you not like it, we have a lot of digital tools that are very scattered, and it's very difficult for us to manage, especially on the IT part, architecture part. So these are the things that really give a headache to our IT team, especially the group digital, for them to manage each and everything. So I didn't say that Akram is very difficult to manage. I think Akram said that Peanut is very difficult to manage right now. But everything has to be a win-win situation. So it's good to have one single point of contact so that everything we can centralize and make it benefits for the whole Petronas. All right, okay, so our recommendation to our management is obviously for those technical items, we will go. Definitely we will go for version 5 and we will go for the cloud versions. So that one, clear cut, it's really so-called very obvious that we will go there. Right, in terms of the costing, so the costing has to be attractive enough for us to move forward. So I think if you presenting any of the proposals to your management, a few things that they will see is always about whether it's comply to the technical requirement, whether the cost is very attractive enough, whether the value that you get at the end of the day is promising for us to justify to the higher management. So this strategy, we need to really strengthen so that whatever rejections is not so-called people not simply reject because of you don't have this, you don't have that, you didn't see at this angle, that angle. So we covered all. When we present this, one shot, it is approved and then we can move forward, right? So next, the expectation outcome that we wanted to have after we migrate to the cloud. We have few things here. I think conformance to technical requirement, we always wanted it to have a seamless integration with SAP S/4HANA, and we want it to avoid potential cybersecurity threat. So when Ami said that about we have to be ready before the SAP S/4HANA ready, it's always about the user's impact, right? So when we have SAP S/4HANA earlier on board compared to the APM upgrading. So it will give headache to our users, because the users will extract the data, we call the query the data from the SAP, and then they will do the analysis, right? So if the SAP is not integrate with APM, so we don't have any transactional data that we would like to trend, we would like to do analysis, so it won't be give any meanings to the APM. So APM is all about data, right? Okay, and then the second one, this is the one that we would like to do when we have the UAT soon in May. So we know that the cloud hosting is actually quite fast compared to the on-prem. So we would like to test the 3 seconds page loading per 100 online users. I think the team will go and log in at the same time and see whether the loading is at 3 seconds maximum, or it's more than that. Is it a white screen? It's what happened. So we have to test it, because the users in PCG is actually really a lot, especially on the EBC rounds, on the PM rounds. So they are using that every day. So we cannot afford to have any performance issues that will lower down their motivations, right? Okay, the next one, I think this is the one that I may want the most, which is the 50% NPS improvement. So like you see just now, we have a system performance at 24% survey scoring, right? And then we have another one is on the capability. So when we have a better system performance, it will increase the adoptions. So we targeted to solve these 2 issues. Number one, on the system performance and the capability, so that it counts around 44%, which is the major chunk of our issues right now. So the adoption has to be faster. Only then you can see the values coming from the analysis. The line of sight is visible. Everyone is happy, and our management also supporting it. That the things that we really need to look forward and make it happen. Okay? Right. In terms of the total cost of ownership, since we have agreed on the 5 years contract with GE, and then we already commit on the 3 years cost, enterprise cost that we have negotiated. So I hope we can maintain that 30% despite whatever happened for other businesses. But for downstream, I hope we can maintain that 30% cost savings that we promised already to our management, so that we can move forward. I don't want that our management questions again. Next, after the 3 years, there is a sudden huge increase of the price. It will give us a very difficult time for us to justify to maintain the system at Petronas. Okay, and the last one, in terms of enterprise contractual strategy, architecture and design standardization. So when we have one single point of contact, it's always about we want to standardize things across the Petronas. We have a one enterprise contract that applicable for every businesses across the Petronas with the attractive price. Design, architecture, functionality, it's standardized across, so it's easier for us to manage in the future.